We continue our reading of Lest We Forget, a daily devotional by author George R. Knight. Today's reading, February 7. Meet Ellen White. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth. Ecclesiastes 12:1. While I was praying at the family altar, the Holy Ghost fell upon me, and I seemed to be rising higher and higher, far above the dark world. I turned to look for the Advent people in the world, but could not find them. When a voice said to me, "Look again, and look a little higher." At this, I raised my eyes and saw a straight and narrow path, cast up high above the world. On this path, the Advent people were traveling to the city, which was at the farther end of the path. Early Writings, page 14. Those words record part of 17-year-old Ellen G. Harmon's first heavenly vision in December 1844. Ellen and her twin sister were born the youngest of a family of 8 children in Gorman, Maine, on November 26, 1827. Her father, a maker and seller of hats, eventually moved the family to Portland, Maine. It was in Portland that 9-year-old Ellen experienced an accident that deeply affected her. Hit in the face by a rock thrown by a classmate, she hovered near her death for several weeks. Eventually, she recovered, but the experience left her in such poor health that she was unable to continue her formal schooling, even though she tried with all her heart. Poor health would continue to plague her for much of her life. Her inability to attend school, however, did not stop her informal education. Her autobiographical sketches reflect a young woman with both a probing mind and a sensitive nature, and the size of her personal library at the time of her death indicates that she was well read in a variety of subjects. Her sensitivity appears not only in her relationship to other people, but also toward God. In fact, even a casual reading of her autobiography leads to the conclusion that she was desperately in earnest about religion from her earliest recollections. The thought that Jesus might return in a matter of years especially traumatized young Ellen. She first came across that teaching at age 8, when, on the way to school, she picked up a scrap of paper indicating that Jesus would arrive in a few years. "I was seized with terror," she wrote. "Such a deep impression was made upon my mind that I could scarcely sleep for several nights, and prayed continually to be ready when Jesus came." Her early experience helps us to see the truth that some things that we fear can actually become the hope of our lives, especially as we come to understand God's character better. This concludes our reading today of Lest We Forget.